members. I mean, before COVID, it was always a topic that kept us, awake at night. And now, I guess that, I don't know, I guess that the demands of the people in terms of salary, benefits, the way you recruit as well is different. The way you onboard people and help people, meet other people in a non-transactional way is different. So let's talk. I would love to have a discussion about it, and maybe we'll start again with Nam, since you were recruited during COVID.
I recruited a lot as well during COVID. So I recruited around 10 people in the last 1.5 years. And I'm not recruiting at the moment, which is great. I'm so happy I'm not, because this is the worst time to recruit. As you know, the market is absolutely crazy. Very hard to get good talent. So I recruited around 10 people, and I think the experience was very important for most of the people. I felt like, because when you join a new job, it's such an exciting thing. But when you onboard somebody remotely, via a Teams call, and all the inductions are via Teams, and you just send a laptop, and it's just, I don't know, it's very passive. I think it's just not very interesting. So we tried to I work with the HR team quite closely to make the recruitment, the onboarding of new people a bit exciting. So sending a bunch of flowers, some cards, and just adding a bit of that. Again, I come from media industry. It's very different. The kind of onboarding we had in Viacom was very, very different. I'm guessing Expedia has that type of a culture. It's a bit fun and very colorful culture, right? Yeah, it's very different. So obviously healthcare is a very different space. It's not like that. So I try to bring some of those elements into this company, especially when we're hiring new people. And most of these people are also quite young as well. And I think, Krishna, the topic you touched upon, these are the kind of people who never thought that they would be 5 days a week remote. And they're just not designed to work remotely as well. So how do you motivate them? How do you get that energy out of them? That was very important. So in terms of onboarding, the HR team helped quite a lot. So we work very closely at the executive along with the HR partners in figuring out how we're going to keep the new employees engaged. And what we also did was we did a lot of activities the initial few weeks when a new person joins. We did not use the tool, the feedback thing, but I think that's a great idea. But we did more personal. So the HR VP had meetings with the new employees to just try to understand if they are happy in the first week of their onboarding and what we could have done better, etc. We also introduced a wellness allowance in the company, which they could use for anything really, to get a subscription of Headspace or Calm or one of those things. We also did, so just from a benefit perspective, we changed a few things, right? So the wellness thing, what else did we do? We also did, we started reimbursing the home office allowance. So we had a home office allowance for people, so they can buy a brand new, like a chair and stuff like that, to their own workstation, which I think a lot of employees really appreciated. So there were these little things that we tried to do to make new employees feel at home. And once the lockdowns got over, we tried to meet, I personally tried to meet my team as much as possible, because the majority of my team are London-based. So, and our offices are in Hammersmith, so I try to meet them at least once a month. And at the moment, we are hybrid. I mean, we go to office twice a week at the moment. And product and engineering try to be in the office the same days, because it just makes sense. We all work in squads. And then sometimes we also try to do, most of the workshops we are doing in the office now, along with our sales teams, especially on the SaaS side of the business. And on the B2C side of the business, we are doing more of the design sprints, etc., bringing designers in the office along with the product people. So I think we are doing a lot of those things now physically in the office, which I think is adding value. I can clearly see. And also when you do these, one thing that I think, Ilona, you mentioned, right, about Post-it notes.
Oh, yeah.
To do physically and then digitizing that. So we are actually doing it digital first now. We're doing everything in Miro rather than putting out papers. So yeah, we're trying various different things. And I just feel that, we also did a number of surveys in the last 18 months with employees to just understand the climate, like what do they want in terms of going back to office, etc. And 90% of the employees wanted a hybrid environment. Everybody said that at least once a week they would love to see each other. So that's why we have implemented a hybrid policy, and that's in full swing now. There are people who obviously would have loved more remote, especially on the tech side of things. So our kind of IT infrastructure and development teams, there were a lot of people who wanted a more kind of remote first. We've lost a few people as well because some people actually left London during the whole pandemic. They went back to close to their parents or somewhere else. We had employees who moved to Scotland. We had employees who moved to Europe, and they wouldn't come back. So we have lost a few people as well because of the hybrid policy. But as a company, we have decided that this is the way forward for us. So we are not going to become a remote first. Mainly keeping the culture in mind, we have decided to become hybrid. So again, I think it's going to take another 12 months to understand the consequences. So we might lose more people. I don't know. I mean, I've also seen a lot of young companies now advertising remote as a benefit. So I think it's perspective, right? So if you are the kind of person who would love to just be remote, fine. But then if you are the kind of person who want that kind of human interaction, I think a hybrid model is the way forward.